Hi Snigdha, how are you?
I'm very good. Thank you so much for having me here, Julie.
So Snigdha is joining us from Mumbai and she's doing very interesting work, but we will let Snigdha talk about her work. So
Thank you, Julie. I think to be, in the interest of time, I am the CEO for Action Against Hunger India, which is an organization that works primarily, to support children who are malnourished, and in the intent of preventing that to happen itself, we work a lot with pregnant, lactating mothers, adolescent girls, and also women in general. And this has also been like my journey over the last 10-15 years, where I've been working with women primarily. And I think that's also kind of my ambition, my life's work, that is something that I don't want to let go of. Working with women, also with children, but for women especially, is where my passion is.
fantastic. So I think Snigdha, you know that the whole channel is all about women empowerment, and I work with girl child. I don't discriminate. I work with all children, and I think that is the work which aligns our interest. And I have been featuring women from around the world who are working with mainly with women and who are working with various issues which are faced by mainly women around the world and children. And we have women like you, amazing women like you, on this platform on a regular basis. So guys, if you're not subscribed to my channel, do subscribe. So Snigdha, do you want to tell our viewers about why did you chose this profession?
It's been a long journey. I think one, I've always volunteered, and I grew up in a household with with two more women, my mother and my elder sister. But also, my I come from a very small town. I also, my roots are in in my parents' village, where we've all, I have grown up seeing women treated a certain way and then suddenly not treated in that manner. So that contradiction, that has all, that had, like, in my child mind also, I think that contradiction had been set in. So like when I was growing up, I was given a lot of freedom, a lot of freedom of choices, but I also saw that a lot of girls my age were not given the same.
Yeah.
I also saw that, let's say, my cousins were not given the same, but my male cousins were given them.
Yeah.
So I think that remained in my mind. And as I finished my CA, I started working in a bank. Very, very different working culture, very different working environment. Even in the corporate world, when you see women struggling way more than men do,
Yeah.
then I don't need to go into the details, but it all has left a very lasting impression on me. And when I decided to quit my banking career, I knew that I wanted to work in the social sector. Women and children were always something that had drawn me, always had attracted, that I knew that that's going to be the space that I wanted to be in. And then fate also played a big role. I worked with Pyramids for last 8 years, and then I've been here for almost 2.5 years. So yeah, I think a lot of will, but a lot of fate, a lot of destiny.
Yeah.
I would say this.
I am happy for you that you ended up where you wanted to be.
Thank you so much.
So I know that women has been facing challenges, and most of the advocates for women rights are doing their part to change the system. But since you have been in a corporate world, you come from a rural area. So what kind of a shift do you see in past decade? What has changed for better?
For better, I think two big changes that I see. One is this whole buzz, right? This whole awareness is caught up. I think it's still time that we actually see behavior change, and that is both in men and women. I would not say that it's only the men. We all understand that the biggest implementers of patriarchy are women. So I think the behavior change might take some more time, but this awareness has caught up. There is so much conversation, it's like never before.
Yes.
Even the fact that you and I are having this chat, the fact that I speak on so many, panels, I speak to so many interesting women, wasn't available to me 5 years ago, wasn't definitely not available to me 20 years ago.
Yeah.
So I think that is a great thing. I think the second thing, and it is a subset of this whole awareness and buzz, is also this realization of intersectionality.
Yeah.
Realizing that gender is not just a gender issue.
Yes.
Every other issue has a layer of gender. If you look at poverty, then you will say, oh, you know being a poor woman is worse off than being a poor man.
Yes. True.
Anything, if you are, if there is if there are health issues, women are the, so it is always at intersection when it becomes, let's say a rural, poor, lower caste woman is the last in the ladder.
Yeah.
So acknowledging that, and like a lot of organizations, a lot of minds, a lot of people are now understanding that it can't be, it can't be a single lens that we apply.
True.
I think that is something phenomenal that is happening. People realizing that, hey, it's not a, it's not a unidimensional thing anymore. Let's club things and let's look at things more holistically.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Very true. So since we are talking about, advocacy for women's rights, and that's something which is very close to your heart as well, you and me both being the advocates of women's rights, I just want to just talk about the challenges you faced as an advocate, not, women in general. We know that, how society behaves. But
the love
when you're trying to change the mindset, or when you're trying to change a community, or, even a small change.
I think the biggest challenge is acknowledgement and acceptance. I think it's the simplest thing. Today I was having a conversation with somebody and I was telling her, hey, why are you for whatever she was telling me about her personal situation. And I said, you don't need to take this, you can choose. You are an independent, smart, beautiful, intelligent woman. You have choices, And she's like, no, I don't. So it's not there is no magic wand. There is no and I wish I had one, but there isn't. I think I would say the challenge is this acknowledgement that yes, there is an issue, and it is across levels, across age groups, across sections of society. So it's a tough one, but I have hope.
Yeah, so let's end this talk on hope, and keeping my fingers crossed that, this woman you're talking about, she feels that she did not have a choice, but I wish that her daughter would have a choice. And that's
I wish so too. Yes, I
looking
too. Yes, yeah. Truly.
So Snigdha, it has been such an enjoyable chat, and I'm very honored to know you and know about you. Thank you so much for giving me time.
Thank you so much for having me, Julie. It's always a joy to talk to other women who are rooting for women and who are supporting women. We need so many more like you.